Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and I'm getting ready for work, but I had this topic on my mind because I've been super inspired this week. I've been talking to different people, hearing their stories. I'm sure a lot of you too who have followed your path and doing the work of the Most High, trying to spread as much truth and enlightenment as you can, right? Even though it's super exhausting, you can be so exhausted yourself, and then you'll get tested that much more, right? It could be at the end of your shift. It could be when you just want to tap out. So I'm definitely feeling that myself, guys. But of course, the most highest work is never done, right? Our work, because the dark side, they're always doing their thing too. It never quits. And just when you think you heard it all, you hear another testimony, right? So a lot of my holistic stuff, I'm going to do a little bit. We're going to go into this cool fruit, loquat. There's one also called a kumquat too. These are native, I believe, to Asia, really high in vitamin A. Going into these holistic topics are becoming more and more and more needed. I mean, I had to spend a little bit of time this morning, right? Yeah, tisk, listening to a so-called doctor, right? A dim-witted doctor. I don't know if he was misled or if he was trying to deceive people, but really spending, going out of his way trying to debunk the effects of turpentine, right? Pine-based, right, from the tree. And I didn't hear anything of sound mind, right? And I do know of the sources that back it up or whatever. He didn't mention any of the literature, and he almost, a lot of these, modern day scientists or sorcerers, they'll actually try to mock the past, the knowledge of the past, which was the foundation of the present, and yet they don't want you to compare, right? Because it would be obvious. It would be no competition. But I urge people to, use whatever money that you have that you could have spent doing something like going out to buying certain books or whatever, research, and you have to spend the time and you have to invest in it too. It's just like anything else. And it is really exhausting, especially to people like me. I mean, I love to help people and I share what I can, but that's why I set up my Patreon, guys, because that way, if they need, an all-inclusive spot with all of my research, all of my whatever, right, all together in one spot. So I give you guys like little snippets, right? And it's super important because I heard somebody's testimony yesterday. Really, really touching stuff. You hear people, it's almost similar with the military and when people are incarcerated. You hear that some of them were forced to get the jab. Some people were forced to get the jab just to be released. So they're very and the symptoms were showing, they had certain symptoms. And so all you can do is try to educate them with different methods to detox, put it in the Most High's hands, because this is what happened in the first place when people strayed away from the Most High, right? You really need, if you want to start, you can go into, Proverbs chapter 1. There was a guy that walked by me. Let me see something quick. I have my Bible. Oh yeah, dropping my stuff. There was a guy who walked by me. He had a t-shirt on. Proverbs, you need to get this. This right here is your health book, your guidebook, all that stuff, right? And that's what people are missing in their life. They have cut this out of their life, and that's the problem, right? So you have to really go into, what has happened, and that, our Creator is not to be played with, right? So go into the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, because when they say the Most High, God loves everyone, well, verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. When your fear comes as desolation and your destruction comes as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish comes upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. They were none of my counsel, right? They didn't want to hear his counsel, and despised all of my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. Okay? And I seen a gentleman, he came into my work, and he had a t-shirt, and it said Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, and that verse says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. So that's what people need to do, and not run away from the book regardless of who, if you had a bad experience from a bad teacher. And even in a lot of these churches, a lot of people are in the medical institutions, so they're all conjoined, because I see it with myself. And even although they know the power of nutrition and they know all of that, they will still push the pharmakia, etc., and everything else, right? Because they believe that the Most High gave man this type of wicked knowledge, right? They don't understand that there is another source, right, of the tree of good and evil and the tree of life. So I got this cool little fruit. It has 3 seeds in it. I got this, a lot of this stuff has to be imported, right? Of course, Big Pharma. A lot of cool quotes, 1911 quote, because this is the stuff that gets me in YouTube prison, right? And so I gotta be careful, as you know. So if you go into Loquat, so cute, right? So this is the fruit I have. It was at the Portuguese market that I'm always at, high in vitamin A, because if you didn't know about some of the jab side effects, a depletion of vitamin A is huge. It can affect your vision, and it leads you to be exposed to certain health problems. So I cut the ends, I'm cutting the sides. It's a really small fruit. I mean, you have to eat a bunch of them, but they say the seeds are really medicinal as well. It tastes like an apricot or a peach. This is the inside. Make sure I'm not freezing over here. You can see some of the effects. Let me bring up the window. This is going to be like a short video. I'm trying to bring up the camera, huh? This camera. There we go. Hello. Alright. And so you can see right there with the seeds. It's very prolific in seeds. That's the other part right there. Okay. Take a little bite for you guys. So yeah, it's super high in vitamin A, great for a lot of different ailments, but very I guess I'm not sure if you the seeds are edible. I'll have to look into it. Maybe they are, guys. They're so good. Let me take a little piece. It's like apricot, peach. It's so delicious and nutritious, of course. So I'm gonna save the seeds. You can make a tincture, maybe even ground up and make a powder, eat them, because they say that they're really healthy. And the leaves too. Loquats. That's something that you would probably want to check out. Let me make my window a little smaller just so I can read some fun facts, right? Because we want to get away from all this stuff. And if you didn't know, Hippocrates, which is supposedly the father of modern medicine, was quoted as saying, let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. And it's so important for people who don't understand this. So I do try to give my knowledge wherever I can, but I tell people, if you want in-depth stuff, I have to refer some people to my Patreon. It sounds like they need it. And that's why I'm going to make certain holistic books myself, with all the different actual sources, the data that I have, allocated throughout the years. So just so you know, the loquat, it says Eriobotria, and it has the word Japan in it, which I found funny. Japanica is a tree native to China. Hopefully you can see, don't mind the pop-ups on the side, you already know. and it's in the rose family, right? It's in the rose family. That's prized for its sweet fruit, okay? Loquat fruit, seeds, and leaves are packed with powerful plant compounds and have been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years, okay? So, look, they're so cute, right? They're high in nutrients, but it goes to show real food. This wasn't cheap. It was like almost $10 for a little basket. It goes to show like real nutrition is not cheap, you know. You do have to pay a little bit. But it can be small and high in nutrients. You know, don't judge, you know, the package. You know, all, you know, good things do come in small packages. Alright. So it's per 1 cup, right, there is 70 calories, 18 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein, 3 grams of fiber. You got B6, vitamin A. These fruits are particularly high in carotenoid antioxidants. So instead of eating carrots, they're a great source. Will help your eyes. I have many books and sources that prove that wearing glasses will actually weaken your eyes, and it's actually the poor nutrition. And some people would have great vision, right, until they got the jab. And then they would need glasses thereafter. So there's been like connections of like your levels going down, right? So which these antioxidants will prevent cellular damage and protect against disease, which are precursors to vitamin A, which is essential for healthy vision, immune function, and cellular growth. In addition, loquats boast folate and vitamin B6, which are important for energy production and blood cell formation, right? So vitamin C, look at all this stuff, copper, iron, right? All these trace minerals. And it's just really important to teach people different methods. I don't think guacamole is as healthy as people claim, right? There's different ideas if it's good or bad, right? I think this lighting is horrible. No wonder, because I didn't have my backlight on, guys. I was like, why is this thing so dark in here? That's why. You kidding me? I had that off this whole time. So and if you didn't check it out, there's different sources too that go into eating for your blood type. Like if you're blood type A, you would do well with more plant-based food, and if you're O, you would do more with meat-based. And as someone who's an A, I do better with, like, you know, nuts and seeds, fruits, berries, like eating light. And because if I go too hard with the other stuff, you know, I feel like my body has a hard time with it. So this is good because this can really help people's mood too, guys, because you should see how people are moving every day. They're so in their feelings. I was kind of going into this the other day. So this is great too. There's beta-carotene, right? So, and carotenoids, which these loquats are high in. They've been shown to enhance your immune system, reduce inflammation, and protects against heart and eye disease, okay? And it's great with different types of cancers too, okay? So it's great for heart health, which is important, especially with people with type A blood. They say that we have more chances with our heart, more issues, so it's really important to eat this stuff because it, you know, it's great in protecting the heart. And they say the extracts of the skin's really important. Leaves and seeds have anti-cancer effects, and I like how it goes right to the different sources. So this, you know, you can go right to it, right? So I can plug this in the description box if you would like. That way you can get more acquainted with the different food out there. You might have to go to different stores because if you notice, like certain markets, they have like the same couple of fruits, the same thing, right? So this was found in Chinese medicine. People should look at other cultures and see their ancient traditions and how it worked for them and how it is so good for us, right? So it's just really, really great. I love showing this type of stuff for people because it is important to have like a working knowledge, because when you go into the history, right, of some of this stuff, right? Because when people have already tested these theories, it's not theories anymore, it's actual facts, right? So R.F. Glenner, he was quoted, this is already in the 70s, nothing new, right? When proper amounts of vitamin C are used, it will destroy all virus and organisms. Okay, so that's from the Journal of the International Academy of Preventative Medicine. You can look that up yourself. Spring 1974, volume 1, number 1, pages 45 to 69 to be exact. Okay, so I do try to tell people, you know, I know people, it becomes too much, right? That's why on my videos I kind of do it in doses, because you know how it is, right? On these cyber streets, it's ruthless. And I want to stay in honor with whatever I do, right? Because I do want to keep my channel up so I can continue to help people, right? But I can only go so far in these topics, right? Talking to a few people and you can see some of their health effects. And this one kid said, like, he took the jab, then he had headaches, he was really tired. And I was going into the, you know, different effects, what that sounds like to me. So, you know, he wanted me to send him a bunch of stuff, and I was like, yeah, you know, I just gotta affirm, I can just do so much, but, you know, you have to definitely do your own due diligence too, right, and make sure that you know it's correct and understand, you know, what you did to yourself in the first place, and monitor that stuff, right, and you have to be diligent with it. So, because then you got like goons online trying to make videos trying to disprove some of these great methods, right, like turpentine, and they really have no real sources. They want to disprove all the actual quotes and books and sources and, you know, evidence that's out there, right? But they want to just call themselves evidence-based, right? Okay, so it becomes one of those things, right? You get shadow banned. But so I do it really, you know, I do it really smart. But it's a high source of vitamin A. If you're trying to get vitamin A in your diet, you're not really big on carrots, that's okay. I appreciate you guys. This is going to be a short video. Got to get ready for work. There's so much different controversies online. I'm trying to stay out the way, right? We had someone that came right before closing yelling, this woman, I'm telling you, some of these ladies really need to check their nutrition. They got no business eating out, right? I mean, I'm telling you, bullying one of the workers, I had to like come in or whatever, but when it gets heated, you need to walk away, because regardless, you got to stay in honor and push forward. And the more you try to do that, the more it feels like you're going to get freaking trolls and devils giving you a hard time. You're always going to get tested, even on your hardest days. It feels like those are the days, you know what I mean, someone needs your assistance, or someone needs your counsel, or you got to spend that extra 5 minutes, or you got to do some type of conflict resolution, right? It's all this stuff, right? So definitely take care of yourself is so important too. Trying to stay away from, you know, especially a lot of like the stress that they're putting online, because it is overstimulation and that can affect your immune system too. So have a great day. Thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.